All right, let's just jump right in. Welcome to today's explainer. We are going to unpack something that is going to completely flip everything you thought you knew about money completely upside down. We're looking at the untold truth about wealth, specifically the exact mathematical framework behind building massive wealth from absolutely nothing. Now look, the internet is absolutely flooded with get-rich-quick theories, but we're skipping all that fluff today. Instead, we're looking squarely at the hard data, the precise framework derived directly from our source material. So get ready, because we're about to completely change the way you look at every single dollar in your bank account.
So to start us off, I want you to try and imagine $117 billion. If we pictured $1 single million as just a tiny dot, visualizing $1 billion would already completely blow your mind. But Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, well, at the time of our source's data, he was sitting at roughly 117 times that 1 billion mark. I mean, that is just a staggering amount of money. It's an astronomical figure that is honestly almost impossible for the human brain to truly wrap its head around.
And then, well, there's the reality for the rest of us. Does this scenario feel maybe a little too familiar? I mean, most of us are out here playing by the traditional rules, right? We studied hard, got the university degree, we show up to that standard 9-to-5 job day in and day out. But instead of actually building wealth, we're bogged down by pesky student loans or drowning in credit card debt. Living expenses just feel absolutely ridiculously high right now, and by the end of the month, there is barely anything left to put into savings. You're doing literally everything society told you to do, and yet getting rich just feels like this impossible, distant dream. It's incredibly frustrating, and honestly, it's just exhausting.
Which naturally brings us to the question that plagues pretty much anyone feeling stuck in this endless cycle. Is the wealth game just rigged from the start? When you see these young millionaires and billionaires, it is so easy to get angry about it. It's so easy to just assume, oh, they were born into it, or they got incredibly lucky, or maybe they even cheated their way to the top. It's a totally natural defense mechanism to tell ourselves that extreme wealth is only reserved for the lucky ones or the corrupt ones, and that we're just stuck on the losing side of a rigged game.
But there's a piece of data here that completely shatters that exact excuse. Get this. According to a report by WealthX on the world's ultra-wealthy, and by that they mean people with a net worth of $30 million or more, 68% of them are entirely self-made. Just really think about that for a second. 68%. We're talking about people like Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Jeff Bezos, Sarah Blakely, many of whom literally started in absolute poverty. They weren't handed some massive trust fund. So if it's not just inherited luck, what exactly do these people know that the rest of the world doesn't?
Well, the reason you might be feeling stuck right now isn't a lack of luck at all. It's actually because you are operating on the completely wrong math. On one side, we have this two-dimensional equation that's basically shoved down our throats in every school. Salary equals your hourly wage multiplied by your time. But on the flip side, we have the actual equation used by billionaires. Wealth equals perceived value plus scalable solutions. Look, if your goal is to make a lot of money in a short amount of time, that 2D equation on the left is literally designed to fail you. Let me show you exactly why.
The math here is just absolutely brutal. Let's say you're earning $20 an hour, and you're working a standard 40-hour week. Do you know how long it takes to hit $1 million? Nearly 24 years. Just to hit $1 million, and that is a pre-tax number. That is without paying a single bill, without buying groceries, and without even factoring in inflation, which, by the way, makes that $1 million worth a little less every single year. The basic math of trading hours for dollars guarantees that you can only become a millionaire at an old age living super frugally, all while your best years just slip right through your fingers. And this really brilliantly illustrates why that 2D equation is just fundamentally doomed from the start. It relies entirely on time. And time is the most precious, strictly finite resource we all possess. Once it's spent, there's absolutely no way to get it back. None. In a standard job, the amount of money you earn is 100% dependent on the time you put in. So, because your time is capped, your income is automatically capped. The wealthy completely understand this. They know that if your money is tied to your time, you are never going to be truly rich. Which brings us to a massive paradigm shift. Listen, if you take away absolutely anything from this explainer today, let it be this one thought. Stop chasing money, start chasing problems. I'll say it again. Stop chasing money. In a capitalist society, if you're out there desperately chasing money, you are doing it completely backwards. Money doesn't just magically appear in your bank account because you want it really badly, right? It flows as a reward. You really need to unlearn your previous financial conditioning and realize that wealth is simply the market's response to a problem being solved.
This builds directly into this core concept of perceived market value. Let's think about a commercial cleaner for a second.
They are doing grueling, hard physical labor every single day, yet they're paid very little. Why is that? Well, it's because the market dictates that their job is relatively easy to learn, meaning they can be easily replaced. Now compare that to a tax accountant sitting comfortably behind a desk in AC. They are paid significantly more because their specialized knowledge saves their clients thousands of dollars. The market doesn't pay you based on how hard you sweat. It pays you in direct proportion to your perceived, irreplaceable value.
So the golden question is, how do you actually increase your perceived value? You use this simple 3-step problem-solving framework. Step 1, find a frustrating problem in the market. Step 2, create an effective solution for it. And Step 3, build a scalable business around that solution. I know, it sounds super basic, but literally all massive wealth stems from this exact premise. If you solve $1 million problem, the market is going to throw millions at you. If you solve $1 billion problem, well, the solution will make you billions.
And honestly, there is no better case study for this than Amazon. Just consider the billion-dollar problems Jeff Bezos solved. He basically eliminated the total hassle of driving to physical stores. He fixed those super slow, weeks-long delivery times that used to just be the standard. And he provided significantly cheaper prices for consumers. Bezos identified incredible friction in the market. He solved it on a massive, massive scale, and the market happily rewarded him with a net worth of over $100 billion.
Okay, wait a second. I know exactly what you're probably thinking right now. Do I seriously have to build the next Amazon or Facebook to get rich? Because I definitely don't know how to code and I definitely don't have venture capital. Okay, stop right there. Don't fall back into those old patterns of thinking and overwhelm. You absolutely do not need to build a global mega corporation to build incredible wealth. You really just need to start by listening to the market around you. What are your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues constantly complaining about? What do they find incredibly inconvenient? Just start with the everyday problems.
But as you start building your solution, you have to be incredibly careful to know the difference between a real business and a disguised job. For example, if you're a yoga teacher charging $100 an hour for one-on-one sessions, well, congratulations, you've just created another job for yourself. Your income is still time-bound. There are still only so many hours in a day you can teach. But if you create an online yoga course that runs 24/7, now your business is infinite and totally time-detached. That is what a truly scalable business looks like.
This highlights the absolute necessity of scale in your wealth equation. Think about a local restaurant. It might be highly successful, sure, but it is fundamentally constrained by its physical space and the foot traffic of that specific neighborhood. Compare that to a software program. Once that software is built, it can be scaled infinitely online to millions of people with virtually zero production or shipping costs. Your solution has to affect a massive magnitude of people without requiring a corresponding increase in your own personal working hours. That's the secret sauce.
Now, once you have that scalable solution, the next critical step is automating the wealth machine. This means implementing really robust daily systems and processes. It means outsourcing anything that's repetitive and hiring true experts to do things way better than you ever could. But you know, perhaps the hardest part for a lot of entrepreneurs is actually removing their personal ego from the equation. You have to realize that you cannot do everything yourself. True wealth is generated when you step out of the daily grind and let the systems and other talented people run the machine for you.
And when you successfully build and automate this machine, you finally arrive at the two endgames of wealth creation. Option 1 is the acquisition. This is that massive liquidation event where you cash in and sell the company entirely. Think of Instagram selling to Facebook for $1 billion, or Elon Musk walking away with $165 million when PayPal sold to eBay. Then there's option 2, the cash cow. This is where you continue to hold the business because it just runs passively in the background, continuously generating income while you go off and do whatever you want.
But as our source material so beautifully points out, actually getting to this endgame reveals a pretty profound realization. The destination was never just a piece of paper. Money itself is literally just a digital illusion, right? It's a number on a screen backed only by human belief. When you set out on this whole journey to pay off a mortgage or buy a dream car or travel the world, it wasn't the physical currency you were after. It was the feeling. It was the sensation of finally living without financial anxiety.
What you were really searching for this entire time is financial liberty. It is the ultimate freedom to completely control your own time, to pursue your passions, and to live without the paralyzing daily anxiety of expenses. It's the ability to wake up and just do what you want, when you want, without having to ask a boss for permission or worrying if you have enough vacation days left. True wealth isn't about buying expensive things. It is absolutely about buying back your own life.
So as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with a challenge.
How many more hours of your life are you going to let slip through in a system completely designed to keep you trading time for pennies? And more importantly, when are you going to stop being just a consumer and step into the arena to ask, what problem will I solve? The math is out there and the framework is proven. The only thing left is for you to stop chasing money and start building your solution. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.